Chloe's here today for lawnfawn and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be creating a Christmas tag to share with you all. I'm going to be using the Car Critters stamp set as my main focus. I'm also going to be using the Car Critters Christmas add-on set, and I'm going to be using the snow and the tree and also one of the little critters in there as well. I'm also pulling in an oldie but a goodie Ready Set Snow. I really love this set for that large snow globe, so I'm going to be using that today. And I'm also going to be pulling in Winter Big Scripty words. I was originally going to use one of the sentiment pieces that come in Ready Set Snow, but I decided to use one of the Scripty sentiments because they're honestly just my favourite, and I think that they fit this type of tag really well. I'm going to start off by stamping out my images first. So I have some white cardstock here, and I'm going to be using some jet black ink, and I'm going to be stamping those down. I do stamp over each image just a couple times to make sure that I get a really dark impression, which is why I use the Misty tool, because it allows me to do that. Now that they're all stamped, I'm going to start colouring in my images with Copic markers. So I'm going to be using some browns first. I'm using E44, E43, E42 and E41, and I'm going to be colouring the bottom part of the snow globe and also the bear and the bottom portions of the tree trunks as well with all the same brown colours. Just makes it like super easy and also makes it a lot more quicker and pretty consistent on your card as well, using the same brown tones just so everything matches a little bit better as well. So once I finish colouring in the brown areas, I'm going to move on to colouring in the trees. So I'm just using some G and YG markers for this. So I'm using G28, YG67, YG63 and YG61 for those. Just starting off with the darkest areas first and then moving my way down to the lighter colours. I also decided to colour in the present that the bear was holding as well, just to bring in a little bit more green. I love using green on my cards, one of my favourite colours to use, and of course for a Christmas card it is very fitting. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish colouring in these trees, and once I finish colouring in those, I'm going to move on to the car. So again, keeping with the Christmas theme, I'm definitely using more Christmassy colours as well, or more traditional Christmas colours I should say. I'm going to go with a red car. So I pulled out some red markers that blend really well together. I'm using R89, R27, R24 and R17. I just really love that the way these look together. It starts off with a pretty dark red, but then it becomes super bright, which is super nice because it's got lots of deep shadows in there. So I'm just colouring in the main body of the car with the red, and then I'm going to bring in some grey for the accents like the side mirrors and the bumper and the tyres and things like that, and also bring in some yellow for the headlights as well. So once I finish colouring in the car, I'm going to move on to those grey accents that I mentioned earlier. So I'm just going to use some warm greys for this. I just thought that warm greys would fit in with the tones of the car and the rest of the colours on the card as well a little bit better than a cool grey would. So that's why I opted for warm greys. So I'm using W9, W7, W5 and W3 for those. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm just using the greys for the side mirrors and the bumper, the tyres and the number plate. And then I also just went ahead off camera and coloured in the headlights with a few yellows. And then for a last finishing touch, I'm just adding some really light blue tones onto the white areas. So onto the, I guess, glass of the snow globe, and then the white snow that's going to sit on top of the car. I thought that adding a little bit of blue on there would be super fun. Once all of those were coloured in, I went ahead and cut them out off camera and kind of arranged them onto my desk just to see how I would like them laid out. Then for the actual tag, I just went ahead and cut a blue piece out for the background out of some blue Jay Cardstock. And I also went ahead and added a snowy hill and a couple of those trees that I cut out and coloured earlier onto the background as well. And also threaded some twine through the top of the tag as well. I then just arranged the car the way I wanted all the images to sit into there, and added foam tape onto the back of that and adhered it into the center of my tag. I also went ahead and added some white gel pen details onto the images, just where the darkest areas would be. I love adding white little details onto there, it's super fun. And then for the sentiment, I just have this fa la la here, and I just added some glue tube adhesive onto the back and adhered it down to the bottom of the tag. And I'm just using an acrylic block for now to make sure that it sticks down directly onto the tag and isn't lifting up or anything like that. So now that everything is adhered down into place, you can see that the back of the tag is a little bit messy. When I go ahead and use this tag, I'm just going to add a white panel, the same snow globe shape onto the back directly. And I'm just going to, write a little note on there or just put to and from, whatever works. But I just left it blank for now because you could just leave it like that and use a white gel pen to write on there. That would be cute and would work just as well. So yeah, anyway, that finishes up my tag design for today. I do think that this would be a really fun tag to mass produce. You're going to stamp down a bunch of images at once, color them all at once, etc, etc. I just created one today because when I made this video I was in the process of moving and so I was very short on time. But this is definitely the type of tag that I would mass produce, especially if it was one that I wanted to do a little bit of Copic colouring on as well. Super simple design, and I think it turned out super cute. So thank you so much for stopping by today. All of the supplies will be listed down below and linked over at the blog. And I'll catch you all next time. Thanks so much for stopping by today.